everybody. Welcome to Petra's Happy Place. I'm going to try a different camera angle here for a little bit because I want to show you not necessarily a tutorial, but it's going to be how I set up and work on a beaded project. And I don't know, hopefully you'll find it a little bit helpful, even though it's going to be kind of upside down and messed up, but it might give you an idea. Of how maybe if you want to try to do some beading, okay? So give me just a minute. Let me set up the camera and let's get going here. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my work here. Let me show you what I'm working on first of all. I am working on a cowl. And it's just a basic cowl. You can use any that you want. I've got a pattern here next to me I'm working from. And I'm just winging this, okay? I'm using a 2-weight, it's a wrap yarn here. And I've got my hook here that they're recommending. Well, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit larger. I've got some seed beads. These are the glass e-beads. I picked these up at Hobby Lobby, and I think they sell them just about everywhere, I think. But they're just some seed beads. And what I've done is I've put some of them in this little tiny bowl here. Okay, you can see them in here. And I have this teeny tiny hook. Now, when I first saw this, I went, no way, I'm not going to be able to use that. But it's easier than I thought it would be, okay? So don't get intimidated by the size of that little tiny hook. But basically what you're going to do is I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to go in to the bowl, pick up a little bead, and just kind of have it on my hook like so, okay? I'm going to just lay it there so that it's ready. I'm going to set it aside. Now, I was trying to find my pattern here, and I don't know if you can see real well. It's kind of like I can't see the viewfinder, but I've got a bead here, a bead here, a bead here. So I'm kind of going back and forth, you know, vertically. And so I kind of wanted to line up on my next row here. I wanted to line my bead up to here. And that's where I'm going to be beading in this loop right here. I'm using treble crochets. This is all done in treble crochets. I'm not trying to explain the pattern to you. I just want to show how I use the bead. Okay, so I've got my bead, and here's where I want to put the bead. I want it to be right here. So this is kind of the trickiest part right here. Is just catching it, and it's easy enough to catch. I kind of hold it together like so, pull it, it's not going to go anywhere, then grab my bead and just pull it onto my yarn, and here's the bead right there. Okay, so I'm going to put my hook, but my little teeny tiny hook, I'm going to pick up my other hook here, put it back in the loop, pull it tight or taut together right here, and continue with my crochet. I'm going to do a treble crochet here in this stitch right here. Let's see here, like so. Okay, and then the pattern is calling for, let's see here, I need to treble in that space, one treble in the next treble, which is right here. So I'm going to treble here. Just hold on. I'll show you another couple of times. See, I'm doing it on camera. Now I'm getting nervous and I can't do it right. Okay, just a treble, plain treble right here. Okay, all right. And then it says that I need to chain 2. So I'm going to chain 2. Skip 2, 1, 2, and treble in the next treble. So I'm going to treble here. Okay. Okay. So you can kind of see the pattern here, okay? Now I've got this bead right here. I'm going to need one over here, and that's what I'm going to be working on now, because I'm going to actually, did I do it in that one? Let's see here. Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm going to, now I'm really getting confused. I guess it really doesn't make that big of a difference. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up a little bit, and I'm going to bring this over, grab another bead. Okay, there it is on my hook. It's a little time consuming. Okay, I'm just going to hold it there onto my yarn and then just kind of straighten it out, and there it is. And it really is easier. Now this is a little trickier because it's a number 2 weight, and it has all those little teeny tiny strands, and I want to make sure that I grab every single one of those, but it's easier than I thought it would be. Okay, so then I go ahead and continue with a treble crochet in the next stitch here. It's actually a chain space. And in the next one, okay, let's see if I'm doing that right. Yes, yes. Okay, now I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to skip 2, 1, 2, and then I'm going to go into this stitch right here. I'm sorry, I'm not centered. I apologize. I'm having a really hard time. I like the idea of an overhead, but I just haven't gotten used to it yet. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. And somehow I'm feeling like that's not the way it's supposed to look, but it is. Okay, so then I'm going to put my bead back on here because I'm at this chain space, this chain space right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put another bead on, bring it over, grab a bead. There we go. Move that over out of the way. It's a little fiddly. That's the word I want to use, fiddly. And then I'm just going to pull it back on. And then grab my yarn again, making sure I grab all 4 little strands. Okay, then do another treble in that space. And another treble in the next treble. And then I'm going to chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and treble in the next treble. Okay, all right, I'm ready to add another bead. Okay, grab one of these. And once you get going, it'll get a little faster, especially when you work your project. I mean, you need to know your project. I'm still learning this stitch pattern. So, okay, then I'm just going to treble into the chain space that I made in the previous row. Oh, I don't like the way that one looks. Push that aside. Okay. I don't like really big loops, like having a lot of extra in a loop, if you know what I mean. Like this, I don't like having too big of a loop here. I don't know. I'm just funny that way. Okay, and then we're going to do another treble. And then chain 2. And then I'm going to skip 2. 1, 2, and treble in the next one. And there we go. Then what was the next thing I do? Yep, it's time for me to add another bead. Okay, so add a bead. Oops, didn't catch it. Okay, move that out of the way. Make sure I grab all 4 of the strands here. And treble in the next chain space. There. So that kind of seals it in. So let me just kind of show you now. Let's do that. Can you see how this is working up? Okay, so you can't hardly see these down here, but there's a bead here, and there's a bead here, and here's a bead here. And then there's one in between here, which you can't hardly see. But there's one. Here's the other one. See, I've kind of alternated them. So let's see here. Can you see that? So I've got it here, 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 here. And I've got it now right here and here. So the next row up, whichever one I'm going to be, whatever the stitch pattern is, I'm going to make sure I try to line it up with this one. So it'll be here. And it's just depending on there's no scientific thing here about it. It's just a matter of, and I am seeing here, I've missed something. Do you guys see that? Oh no. Okay, I don't like that. We're going to have to undo this. And this is good because I'll show you how, it's easy enough. Just pull it through, take the bead out, and then just keep going. Here we go. And here's there we go. So now I just can pick it up from right there. And let's, where are we here? Go right here in that chain space. There we go. I like that better. Much better. Another treble. Up. See, having all those little teeny tiny threads that make up this yarn, it makes it pretty, but at the same time, makes it a little bit more fiddly. Okay, there. I'm going to stop there. All right. Hopefully, I made that a little bit more clear for some of you. If you haven't yet, see this one, it doesn't look like it's in the center. You see this one? It doesn't look like it's right in the middle, but if you pull it over, it is. It's just kind of like, it depends on, it's like when I go next time over the next stitch, I'm going to bring it over to this side. You know what I mean? It's like the next round, I'm going to put it right here instead of pushing that over and putting it here. So that will be more in the center. Anyway, it's just a little flouncy little cowl that this is, but I just thought it would be really interesting to show you how you would add little kind of seed beads. And this is just how I do it. You could have a little paper towel or little, I would also, I would definitely recommend you not try to get them right out of here because you could make a really big mess. But just kind of, put it in a little bowl or in a little cup or something like that, so you could have all your little seed beads inside of something where you can get to them. The thing is that they say you can use a 1 millimeter, but a 1 millimeter hook, it will fit in a very few of these beads. But the center of the beads, the hole isn't always the same size. And I found that my 1 millimeter is just too big. I couldn't fit my the beads on there. So anyway, I would not recommend seed beads for anything larger than a 2-weight or a sock weight yarn. But make sure that you have something really small to thread them with. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. You have a wonderful day and happy beading.